Hello you lot, my name is Max and welcome back to my YouTube channel and another Nottingham Forest video. Yes, we are back with some more tactics and transfer videos. Today, discussing a muted move for Chelsea defender Levi Colwill, who spent last season, of course, on loan at Huddersfield Town, scoring that important goal that sent us to the Premier League. Now, whilst the fee is yet to be rumoured or even connected to this transfer, there are several sources connecting him with a move to the City Ground and several other Premier League sides, which is why I think he is more than eligible for this kind of video. Of course, as always, we'll be talking about his background as a player, how he fit in with this Huddersfield Town team that reached the playoff final last season, and how I think he'll fit in Steve Cooper's Premier League side next season. So of course, before we get into that, don't forget to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel whilst you're down there. It would be greatly appreciated. By the time you're seeing this, we might have hit 1,000 subscribers, so thank you very much if we have. But if we haven't, we're pushing towards that goal of 1,000 subscribers. So if you could drop a like, subscribe, tell a friend, share this video, be greatly appreciated. So with that being said, let's start talking about Levi Coleman and why I think he would be the perfect fit for Nottingham Forest. Levi Colwill was born in 2003 in the city of Southampton and would go on to join the Chelsea Academy at the age of 8 in 2011, linking up with their under-9 side. He would spend the best part of a decade at the club learning his craft and becoming one of the most experienced defenders in that youth team before getting his first taste of first-team football, joining Huddersfield Town and reaching the playoff final last season. He would make his debut in the EFL Cup against Sheffield Wednesday in August before scoring his first goal, a late dramatic winner later that month against Sheffield United in a 2-1 win. He is an England youth international, having played at under 16s, 17s, 18s and under 21s, and would cement his place in the Terriers side as the season progressed and got deeper, reaching of course that playoff final and being probably one of the most important teams in that Huddersfield Town side reaching that final. Now, in terms of his stats, we're going to take a look at his defensive numbers first, because obviously as a defender, his defence does come first, and he lines up comparably well when you compare him with some of the defenders in the Nottingham Forest side at the moment, winning 3.1 aerial duels per 90 minutes, only marginally behind that of Steve Cook and Scott McKenna, and more than Joe Worrell for Nottingham Forest. And is also an excellent reader of the game, completing 1.5 interceptions per match, similar to that of Worrell and Cook and more than Scott McKenna, and proven to be one of the most efficient centre-backs at winning the ball back from tackling, attempting 2 tackles per match, winning 1.8 of them, and only being dribbled past once every 5 games. That is very impressive, especially considering he's a very aggressive wide centre-back, and it far dwarfs that of the likes of Steve Cook, Scott McKenna and Joe Worrell for Nottingham Forest this season. He also excels on the ball, being very tidy in possession and very rarely misplacing his short passes, and his long passes, which are passes over a distance of 30 yards or more, have a completion rate of around 56%, which is not as high as Joe Worrell at 70%, although he is constantly seeming to launch balls cross-field. Don't know how he has that high of a completion rate, but it's also much higher than that of Scott McKenna, who's only at 40% and is by far a less superior player on the ball than Levi Colwill. Overall, Colwill is a really exciting defensive prospect, putting up similar if not better numbers than established championship defenders who are actually some of the best in the league at what they do during his first campaign of senior football. This overall looks like a very exciting prospect and someone who I would very much like to see at the City Ground next season. So with all that being done, let's now start talking about Levi Colwill in a little bit more detail tactically and how he was implemented in this Huddersfield Town team last season, reaching the playoff final. Okay, then we've got the two sides lined up here. In the blue, we have Huddersfield Town playing their back three, which they played for the majority of last season under Carlos Cabron. And of course, this man here on the left-hand side is our man Levi Colwill, the man playing on the left-hand side of this Huddersfield Town defence. Ahead of him, he had these 2 wing-backs alongside 2 central midfielders and a front three that was fairly flexible in the positions that they occupied. Now, like Nottingham Forest, they were very reliant on getting the ball out to their wide players, who of course caused the most damage. On the left-hand side, this was usually Harry Toffolo playing a left wing-back, and on the right-hand side, that was Saul Thomas, who I was either playing as a right winger or also briefly as a right wing-back for the Terriers. Now, in the playoff final, they did struggle quite a lot getting the ball down the right-hand side of the pitch. Now, I've lined this up very similar to how Nottingham Forest shaped up on the day in the playoff final, and they struggled quite a lot, did Huddersfield, getting the ball up this right-hand side of the pitch. The right side of the defence, not the strongest on the ball. I believe it was Naby Sarr who was playing right centre-back, was hooked at half-time after a pretty shocking performance in the first half. So it meant that a lot of their ball progression, and pretty much over the course of this season as well, was coming down the left-hand side of the pitch. It was definitely the most aggressive area where they were looking to target. And this has allowed the opportunity for the midfields, when they were working the ball down this left-hand side, to drop into deeper positions. It allows them then to work the angle better for passing opportunities. And you would often also see likes of Sinani, who was predominantly their number 9 in this system, dropping deep as well, looking to pick the ball up, create angles, looks to get forwards. And Colwill was very important at this, progressing the ball, holding on to possession, and being a very competent passing defender who helped sort of build up down this left-hand side where they were the most dominant. They would also try and receive the ball into the feet of Lewis O'Brien. He was definitely the best progressor in that midfield, a very good ball carrier, very good at winning fouls as well, and he would often be fouled in these sorts of areas of the pitch. If I draw sort of a little blanket box, sort of within the width of the 18-yard box, these sort of balls that enables them to get these sort of curled balls into the box for their very strong set-piece attacking players to get onto. So with that being said, I can really see why Nottingham Forest would want someone like Levi Colwill in the side, someone so important in the build-up play for the team. And with talks for Moussa Niakhaté seeming to have stalled, or at least been put on the back burner for now, he would be a very, very reasonable alternative. In fact, probably would prefer him as well to Niakhaté, just simply because of that age factor, and I think he's got so much more upside for that potential position. I could see him probably playing in the left-hand side of that back three, allowing Scott McKenna to move into a more central position where his defensive attributes would really excel, but his lack of mobility wouldn't be exploited quite as often as it was. And of course, Levi Colwill, a really good defender, but also a very good aggressor, good on the ball, and pretty athletic as well. Overall, this for me would be a dream deal. I'm not sure what the fee would be, or even if it would just be a straight up loan deal to get him some more first team minutes in the Premier League, but it would be ideal for someone coming in and locking down that left-hand side position for the majority of the season. In terms of a deal that would be structured with Chelsea, I can imagine it'll be probably quite complicated. Obviously, you can only loan in 2 players. We've obviously used one of those loans seemingly to bring in Dean Henderson, so it would restrict us bringing in someone like Joe Rodon from Tottenham as another defender, because that again would be looking like a loan deal, but it would be a complicated deal, like I said. Possibly a loan, like an option or obligation to buy, maybe a deal that includes a buyback clause if we were to bring him back on a permanent deal. Either way, I think it is really resting on what Chelsea actually do with their centre-back positions in the summer. Obviously replacing Rudiger, who's gone to Real Madrid, and Christensen, who's likely go to Barcelona. So yeah, it all very much depends on quite a lot of factors, and the deal itself doesn't really seem to be clear what it would be. But of course, let me know in that comment section down below what you think of the deal, potentially bringing Levi Colwill to the City ground. Again, it's very much in the early stages of the rumours, but I do think it constitutes a good bit of value for money. I think even a straight loan deal, get him some first team minutes in the Premier League, it benefits all parties involved, and I can see him flourishing in that 3 at the back system at the City ground. Whilst you're down there as well, drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel, turning on that notification bell. If we've not hit 1,000 subscribers yet, please help me reach that milestone. And if we have, I will be doing a separate video, but thank you so much for helping me reach that milestone. All that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. I think it's going out on Friday, so enjoy your weekend, Reds. I will catch you later.